Yes, we are live again, starting 2 minutes early. Hope that's okay. I need to stop using the screen during my live streams as a mirror, but there you have it. Good morning, especially to all my friends in the UK. I hope that you can hear me and see me. Just to get everything, all the practical stuff sorted out. Recently, we have had some problems with the audio and the visuals. I've checked it. It is the internet connection, and the internet connection on my side, I don't know about your side, but on my side, it is sort of dependent on the weather. Right now, the weather is quite cloudy and rainy, so hopefully we will not get any problems, but we'll see. It is not my equipment here. Excuse me. So yeah, I have some notes. Interesting what has happened in the UK. Very interesting and expected. This was no surprise, and I guess, as expected, Labour won by, it was a landslide victory for the Labour Party. Hi there, Mike. Mike's my first live. Well, good to see you here. Mr. Sorpos, Brenda, Jason, KP Heathen, Tom, and all the usual suspects are here. Yeah, so I'll in a few seconds I'll give you some data here. But this is, it's all over the news now, basically. Hold on. Yeah, that's the sun. We don't want the sun here in the studio. I recently came back from Romania, from Transylvania, and after that I've been very sensitive to the light. And no, just kidding. Hi there, Margot. Good to see you. Good to have some moderators here. And horror business. So yes, the Tories in the UK are out. Good riddance, in my opinion. They are out, and I mean, the reasons are not complicated. They did everything wrong. I'll just list some of the things that I have been watching here from Norway that they did wrong. And let's just go back to COVID. The lockdown in the UK was brutal. The vaccine, and I don't care anymore. On YouTube, you can fuck off if you don't. If you try to close this down. How they scared people, and how they put pressure on people to get these injections. That's probably going to affect the mortality. It has already affected the mortality. Well, people are dying because of that. Now, so, they pushed for that. People are waking up. And this is not spoken about in media, of course, but lots of people are very bitter now, not only in the UK, of course. So that's one reason, it's unforgivable what they did. So people will vote for someone else. Immigration, we're talking about politicians who got the UK out of the EU, and many people thought that, we won't have as much problems with immigration now. But people in the UK are telling me it got even worse. So there is that. It's the general poverty. And I mean, and I need to tell you this, okay? England and Scotland are places I've been there many, many times, and I love both those countries. And it's when I see what's happening, especially England, it's there's this term "broken Britain," and you can see it, and it's horrible to see. It's just horrible. And what I'm seeing is that I'm seeing a people losing pride in who they are, and it's so sad to see. And the Tories, those people there, they're mainly corrupt. Let's just call it what it is. Their decisions are based on enriching themselves. These are not good people, okay? Most of the politicians who were sitting there in the House of Commons, representing the Tories, I would say they're not good people, okay? So this is my stance on that. Okay, so I'll try not to get into a rant there. Okay, so the data. So Sir Keir Starmer will take over as well. Is he the leader of the Labour Party? But basically, he will be. Is that prime minister? He will be. Hopefully, I'm getting this correctly. And he says, and this is interesting, and we'll get back to that. Change begins now. Change begins now. Now, Labour has secured the 326 seats required for a majority in House of Commons. And Tories, I believe, what I read now, just 131 MPs now. So, and interestingly, Reform takes 4 seats, and Nigel Farage is back. I thought they would do better, but I think that still that Reform is seen as too radical. The Brits are quite. Hold on, I'm forgetting this so that I can hear the sound quality. Yeah, the Brits are very conservative in the way that they are, well, not politically conservative, but they are very faithful to the system. And to all the Brits hearing this, you should be. Stop that. So that's the main reason, I believe, why not more people have been voting for Reform, because I think a lot of people in England, they really want Reform's policies. Now, I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with Reform and Nigel Farage. I'm just saying I think there's a barrier there. People in Britain, they think that kind of it's a little bit too much to vote for Reform. But I don't know. It's just a guess. So we're going to see some changes. And the main change I believe will be taxes. Taxes will be increased, I believe. I might be wrong. I don't know the policies the tax policies that the Tories had, but I think that well, Labour, they're not even trying to hide the fact that they like taxes, and that's their stance. It can be expected, and people are not going to like that because and this is the typical leftist thing. They say, "Oh, we will tax the rich." Yeah, we will tax the rich. That's what they always say. Now, That's what it means. I mean, tax the rich, it's code word. It's a code phrase for we will take more of your money. Okay. And I expect that the support that Labour has now in the population, it's going to be reduced quite a lot during the first year. They are popular now. They will be less popular in the future because of their policies. If I was if I was a citizen in the UK, I would not have voted for the Tories. Would I have voted for some of the other smaller parties? I don't know. I think I would have voted strategically, which means that I could have voted for Labour just for the reason that Rishi Sunak, he said, the leader of the Tories, he said that they are going to bring a national service, implement a year of national service for young people. And it's a disgusting thing. And just for that one reason, I might actually have voted for Labour if I was there, if I was a citizen in the UK. Even though I despise the tax policies in general of people on the left. So it will be interesting to see also what Nigel Farage and his companions will be doing. It will be fun to hear them, especially Nigel Farage. I think is funny, and I think that people like him they are needed in a system like that. And I look forward to little what's the word, snippets or something like that. Or did I right now? Where he's standing there and completely with no respect at all for these corrupt politicians surrounding him. He's calling them out and criticizing them. I'm looking forward to that. Now, what to expect? Basically, you can just go to the World Economic Forum's website and you can find their Agenda 2030. Labour has subscribed to that. They will follow that. And you can expect all of that crap. So, green energy. Yeah. More expensive electricity. Well, in England, you use gas a lot. But all of that, everything you need to heat your house to make food, electricity, power, it's going to be more expensive. Expect higher taxes into everything. So, okay, I know I need to repeat this. Okay, taxes. What are taxes? Tax on your income is just one of many taxes, and you guys know this. Okay, there is taxes on everything you buy, everything you do, when you travel, your car, road tax, property tax. Now, having said that, in Norway, there are places, some of the counties in Norway, we don't have property tax, but in England, I think, in the UK, I think there is property tax everywhere. So yeah, higher prices, higher food prices. Mike, yes, higher food prices. Here's the thing that especially those on the left, they don't want to say this. Taxes are driving inflation up. Okay, and I don't care about explaining that again. It's an effect of taxes, and they want you to believe it's the opposite. Oh, we can't lower taxes because then inflation will go up. That's crap. That's nonsense. That's not how it works. It would be like that if people were complete idiots. Like, lots of people are stupid, but the majority of people, they understand that they can't just spend all their money right away. Okay, so yes, lagging. I said as I started, it's the internet connection. I can't do anything about that. Okay, so just no, don't go there. It's annoying to me. So, yes, I see some comments there concerning Keir Starmer. Yeah, he was head of the Child Protection Services during the height of the grooming gangs, despicable man, pedo protector, and there was this Savile thing. Starmer's legal team let him go, or they didn't prosecute him, or something like that. Is Keir Starmer a good man? Is he corrupt? I don't know. But I do know that he's not the one who decides. He's not the one who decides. So it's kind of easy to predict what's going to happen, because the UK has now become. Well, no, let me go back there a few steps. It's so now, because Labour is, I believe, very open about this, that Agenda 2030 will be. That should scare everyone. Were the Tories different? I don't think so. I think they were just as in it as Labour. So maybe there's not much of a difference we're talking about here. We will see. I think it's always dangerous when you have a very dominant political party. And I must say, you have the same in the USA, like a two-party system, basically. Yes, I know there are other political parties, but they are insignificant. And that's not a good thing, and yeah, in Norway and many European countries, it's not like that. They form coalitions, and there are pros and cons with that, I guess. So, James, thank you so much for that donation. Thanks a lot. So I'll get to the chat very soon. And I'm going to stick to the topic. And I can't do anything about the internet connection. You need to understand, I don't live in a city. I live out in the countryside. It's the internet connection I have here. It's the internet connection I have. I can't do anything about it. So, UK policies. Will you get less immigration? No. You will not get less immigration. And having said that, immigration can be a good thing. I believe, and this is not a popular opinion with many people who are watching my live streams, but I believe that as decent human beings, we should help people who are suffering, people fleeing from war and hunger. We should help those people, mainly in the places where they are, if that's possible. But we should also take some people into our countries and help them. Should we allow people, like, the term is fighting age young males, to come into our countries in like the thousands and millions? No, that's obviously very stupid. But then again, you have like, okay, sorry, that's obviously very stupid. But we need to understand that immigration is many different things. So in Norway, for instance, we need people in the more, the outskirts of Norway, or the rural parts of Norway, which is most of Norway, because people are moving out of those places, and we need people to to go there and work in, healthcare and what have you. So sometimes you need immigration, and obviously you need immigration sometimes if you are lacking in qualified people in a certain profession, and so on and so on. I think we all can agree on this if we can put our emotions aside a little bit and try to be sensible about it. But that's not the immigration we're talking about here. And I think you're going to see, I know that Labour has said that they're going to turn the boats around in a canal and channel, and so on. Or I think they've said that. But I don't know. I don't think you will have any less immigration in the UK. I think there will be more. And there are so many other things that might happen now or might not happen. So I'll try to be careful now, okay, with what I'm saying here. But when I go to England as a Norwegian, I see a class system. We don't really have that in Norway. I see a class system that it's keeping people down, and it's a horrible thing. I think that's something that needs to be dealt with. People need to get the opportunity to get a proper education, and I think that people who want to go to university should get financial aid to go to university. And this is a very unpopular opinion, especially among the conservatives in the USA. But you need to understand that that's an investment. I know some people will be hating on me now for saying this. If you look at successful countries, like Norway is a successful country, Sweden is, Finland is, and so on and so on. We sponsor people to get proper education, which means that we need to do that because we need highly qualified individuals in a high tech, what's the word? Okay, well, you know what I'm saying. I think it's a good investment. And when you go to countries where only sons and daughters of rich people go to university, you can kind of see it. It's not helping that country. And I know people in the UK who wanted to get a higher education. They couldn't afford it. Intelligent people who could really have made a difference in society. But no. So they're keeping the class system strong, and that's not a good thing, So having a strong Labour Party might actually help that situation, because they would be, and I'm just guessing here, they would be more, it's more likely that they would support, higher education and having more people take a higher education. That's more likely than that the Tories would do it. Also with the Tories, you kind of know what they will do and what they won't do, because they've been there for 14 years. And it's been like having a very stupid and dangerous driver driving your car for 14 years. And the car will get bumps. It will crash into other cars and trees and what have you. It's been notorious for 14 years. They have mismanaged the UK. And some things might get better with Labour. But I would not be ecstatic. And I do fear that they will be dominant for a long time. And it might be too late now that they have gotten into power concerning the changes that will be implemented according to Agenda 2030. So, as expected, lots of people, they don't like me when I say the thing about universities and so on. You need to understand, okay, that we're not talking about gender studies in a woke American university. We're talking about engineers, biologists, now it's blank. Engineers and biologists. Look, most higher educations are useful and they are needed, okay? Let's keep it. You understand this, okay? You do understand this. Doctors, okay? You want to go to a doctor when you break your leg who actually went to university, That's what you want. Yeah? This is easy. It's easy to understand. And that's actually a good example because in the UK, they don't have enough doctors. So, and why don't trade school get paid for? Well, it's easy. They get paid, at least in Norway, after a couple of years. You're an apprentice and you get some pay for that. You get paid by the hour or something. If you want to become a doctor, how many years in university is that? Quite a lot of years. And you don't get paid. That's why. It's easy. You guys, you get. I'm sure you get it. Okay? Doctors, dentists, physicists. But let's not get into that. I know some people hate it. And I think there's quite a bit of envy in there. So, yeah. Now, apprenticeships in the UK, yes. Yeah, the pay is beyond disgraceful. That's another thing. Okay. That's another thing in the UK. People get paid for. It is disgraceful how little people get paid. And here's my opinion. If you work full time, you're employed by a company, you shouldn't have to struggle financially, unless you're being an idiot and you just buy stuff using your credit card all the time, stuff you don't need. But if you're being a sensible human being and you work full time, you shouldn't struggle financially. So the minimum wage needs to be beyond poverty level. Okay. Thank you for the donation, Goko Donny. Thanks a lot. Culturalists. Yeah, that's the people who are like farmers, but like farmers with an education. Yeah. This is what I always do. I mention something and people hate it, and then that changes the whole chat. We're not talking about the universities now. We are talking about the election in the UK and the landslide victory for the Labour. There are pros and cons coming with that. It comes with pros and cons. That's what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, C.A. Beaverford says, with open borders, our cost of housing has doubled. Yeah, obviously in the UK, there are no open borders. It's an island, or islands, to be geologically correct. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So that needs to stop. It's also there is also another problem with the UK. It's the lack of pride in being English, Welsh, and all of that. The lack of pride in your ethnicity and your roots. And when that happens, you will get a, how should I put this? So, okay, when you take the pride away from people get into a state of mind where they ask themselves, why should I bother? Why should I bother about my house, my community, my country, my people? Why should I bother? Because I'm being told constantly that it's bad, it's racist, my existence is racist and bad and evil. And all of that, it's taking initiative even away from people. And I've been observing that in many countries, and the UK is one of those. What they should have done is put more attention to national pride in the UK. But the opposite has happened, and it's been going on for a long time. Simultaneously, you had politicians and police and bureaucrats protecting grooming gangs, where they were all, I think, were they Pakistani? I think so. And it really destroys a country from within when you do that to a people. And it's unforgivable when they take the pride away from people. And you see it, I came back from Eastern Europe now, just a few days ago. And it is basically the same that you can see in countries that, former communist countries, where they took the initiative away from people. This stupid idea that, oh, you will work for the common good of the people, the collective and all that. Well, communism, your they were taking the pride away from people. So then people they stop trying. They stop maintaining their houses. Because why would they do that? Stop doing the things that keeps a society together in a healthy way. And I'm kind of seeing it in the UK. I've seen it, observed it for a long time. And it's, as I said, it's unforgivable. I was in Romania and Hungary. And also, when you make everything ethnically English, Welsh, and so on bad, when that's bad, you will get a reaction against that, and it will be a reaction that is often racist. It misunderstands and misrepresents the culture, um, and that's horrible to see. But of course, then these people can say, they can point at those skinheads in the streets, oh, look at those people, they're all racists, nationalists. Being nationalist is a bad thing. Look at those racists. So no, it's not good. It's not good. So um, when I talk about pride in your ethnicity and your, not so much your country, but your ethnic group, your culture, I'm talking about going back hundreds of years, trying to understand where you come from. I'm not talking about standing like an idiot at the side of the street when you're King Charles the prickhead, dickhead, is being driven past. Not talking about that. Yeah, just my take on it. Let's see if I can respond to some of the comments here. Yeah, what I've heard is that use the English flag, not the UK flag, but the English flag is by many people in England seen as racist. What the hell? What's that about? What? Yeah, Oh, hi, Patricia. Hi there. Yes, Jen. You're writing to Jason M. Schmidt that people voted against the Conservatives, not realizing the consequences. Yeah. Yes. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, the red and white one. Yeah. And the flag has a it's maybe not that old. It's tied to Christianity, but then again, Christianity has been much longer in England, of course, than in Scandinavia. So it has a bigger place in the culture, I would say. But yeah, that flag, yeah. Andy, I never even heard about the Heritage Party. I never even heard about it. But maybe more people should do like you and vote for the smaller party. Then again, I did say that I would have probably voted for. I probably would have voted for Labour because the Tories needed to go simply because they were suggesting 1 year of national service for young people, which I am against, and it's despicable. And even suggesting that makes me, what's the term? Makes my blood boil. So yeah, even though I disagree with, I don't think I will ever vote for a Labour or leftist party unless it was a situation where you kind of had to get the conservatives out, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I heard. Weasel 3001, so much hype for Reform UK overtaking Tories and in the end 4 seats. Okay, here's a question for you guys. Do you think that the election in the UK is completely lacking of fraud? Or do you think that there might be some fraud, some cheating somewhere? I'm just asking the question, not implying that there is fraud, but, just asking the question. Yeah. Yeah, of course, I've read Animal Farm. I like that book. Frank is saying, I don't think fraud is significant. Yeah. And here's another question, just to sidetrack the whole thing a little bit. Do you think there will be fraud in the American presidential election? Russians. Yeah. Because it's interesting, both sides in America, they've said that, the other guy, the other side cheated. Yeah. You can bet on it, says Rolf. That's USA, I guess. Yeah. Fraud in the US election? Now that's funny, says Rick. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my take on it. I should have said before I started this talk here that I really should be humble about the whole thing in the UK, because I'm not in the UK. I don't live in the UK. And therefore, I can't really, I can't criticize anyone for voting this or that. I'm not there. I'm not feeling the effects of the policy there in my daily life. So, yeah. But this is, anyway, my take on it. And we'll see what happens. They have a job to do. I hope that they can repair broken Britain. I hope that they can be sensible in their policies, and that they can put ideology aside and just do what is sensible for the people and for the economy and so on. That's my hope. Do I think that will happen? No. But we can always hope, So, yeah. Oh, yeah. To all the Americans, happy 4th of July. It's still the 4th of July on the West Coast, I believe. So, yeah, happy 4th of July. We will get to you guys soon, meaning we will talk about the situation. with the old man, Brandon, is that what you call him? And yeah, just a few words about that. I used to say that in the USA you should get the two candidates in a wrestling match, like the show wrestling that we see on TV. Yeah, we know it's fake, like politics. So it fits perfectly, and they should get in there. And whoever wins becomes president. Wouldn't that be funny? But not so much now, because Biden would be not really. Yeah, I think they keep him standing up by having a lot of what you call it, a lot of like his trousers and his shirt, and it's been stiffened up, so the clothes are keeping him standing up or something. Yeah, just being funny there. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's not fine to make fun of people suffering from dementia, but people like Joe Biden, I despise that man. I really do. But I am changing the topic here, and I really shouldn't. So we'll get to that in another live stream. Okay. Yes, that's all for now. And thank you all for joining here. And I'll be back soon.